try something here. Okay. All right. Well, that's doing that. Okay. 0.128.0.121. There we go. Now Droid Cam wants to finally work. Thank goodness. All right. Praise Yahuwah for that, because that way people can actually see a little bit better. Oh, enough. Calm down. All right. Here we go. You guys are going to see how much better I look on here. Let's see here. Droid Cam Source 2. There we go. All right. Here we go. All right. Shalom, Facebook. Shalom, everyone. To our brothers and sisters that out there, I pray you're having a great Shabbat. We're going to be doing a little topical type of study tonight, since we got the Torah portion study all day tomorrow. So I got it recording to the cloud now too. So we're going to do a study called The Importance of Knowing the Name of the Father and of the Son. So we're going to show here the importance there. What the heck? Okay. Wow. All right. I don't know what's going on there. Let me close out some of these windows here. Okay. Here we go. If you're in the app here or looking on Facebook right now, you'll see this on the shared screen here. Okay. We're going to start off, as basic as possible. We're going to start off with, I would say, Exodus, and I don't even have it on here. I'm shocked I don't have it on here. Exodus chapter 3, when he re-gives his name to the children of Yasharal, right? So let me actually add that one. I think that is Exodus 3, 15 to 16, and then we're going to go on to other cross-references in this study, okay? And the thing to note here is Yahuwah says, this is my name forever, okay? Forever. Okay, so his name does not change. His name does not mysteriously become El Shaddai. His name does not change, okay? So we're going to go there, and we're going to kind of show here the misconception that some of our brothers and sisters have when interpreting this, because what they'll do is they'll stop at verse 14 and think his name is I am. So we want to discuss this too and kind of be honest with scripture here. So we'll actually be reading verses 14 all the way to 16 here from Exodus 3. I'm reading from the Brentons here. It says, and Elohim spoke to Moshe, saying, I am the being. And he said, thus shall you say to the children of Yasharal, the being has sent me to you. Now, the being is the Greek version of I am that I am, basically. Okay, so it's really the Septuagint's way of using the idea of what ahaya means as a definition. It means to exist, to be something. I am who I am. So, Yahuwah itself actually literally means I am he who exists, right? So the being, the Septuagint puts it, okay? So that's not his name. That's just who he is. He is the forever existing one, okay? Verse 15, and Elohim said to Moshe, thus shall you say to the sons of Yasharal, Yahuwah, Elohim of our fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Yaakov has sent me to you. This is my name forever and my memorial to generations of generations. Interesting. So meaning forever, eternity. Okay. So again, this here is showing that his name is always going to be Yahuwah. It's not changing. It's not becoming Adonai. It's not becoming El Shaddai. It's always Yahuwah. His name is not even the Most High. The Most High is a title. Okay, and I see some people out there, they mean well, but I'm seeing people on Facebook always calling Yahuwah the Most High as a name. No, that's not his name. That's a title. Just like Head of Days or Ancient of Days is not his name.
What about the Almighty?
That's a title.
Okay.
Because, Mom, you'll see later on in the New Testament, especially in the ISR and the Restored Name King James, it will say Yahuwah Almighty. Almighty is a title. It means that he is the deity, the Almighty, but it's not his name. It's not his proper name. That's what I'm trying to say. So we got to make distinction between a title that's used for the Father and his actual proper name. And it's very important to understand that there. So like a lot of Christians make books talking about the 300 names of God, and no, he has one name. Those are titles. Like when it says Yireh after Yahuwah, when it says Yahuwah Yireh, the part of that is his name is Yahuwah. Yireh is just a title. Like certain things that come after his name let you know certain characteristics about him. Like Yahuwah Yireh means Yahuwah who provides. So Yireh means to provide, is the Hebrew word for provide.
It says who heals.
Yeah. So those are not names, they're titles. The Yireh part, the who heals you part, that's just titles that follow his actual proper name. Okay, so Proverbs 30 verse 4 seems to make it very important to know his name. It actually shows that that there is in question whether people would know his name or not, and this seems a question for believers actually, the way King Solomon is writing this here in Proverbs 30 verse 4. Who has gone up to heaven and come down? Who has gathered up the wind in the hollow of his hands, meaning, in his fists or in his palm of his hands? Who has gathered up the waters in a cloak, like a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name? Surely you know. And so this is a good verse to show any Jewish people out there that say that Yahuwah doesn't have a son. King Solomon himself wrote this. Okay, King Solomon knew that there was this person pre-existing with the Father that literally is his son. And if we're going to be technical too, Yahuwah has a lot of sons. He has one begotten son, but he has a lot of other sons. Angels are considered sons of the Father or sons of Elohim. Okay, so the idea that Yahuwah has no sons is completely unscriptural. Anyway, so Joel chapter 2 verse 32. Okay, 2 verse 32. So now we're going to go here. This is a pretty important one here. Joel 2:32 says, and it shall come to pass, whosoever shall call on the name of Yahuwah shall be saved. Keyword shall be saved. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall the saved one be, as Yahuwah has said. And they that have glad tidings, not gospel, glad tidings, preach to them, whom Yahuwah has called. Okay, so Yahuwah has called, and I would say probably a better English translation of that word at the end would probably be chosen. Would make a lot more sense, but that's just my opinion. So again, here we have the predestination being referred to. We have the, so this is basically, and I just want to iterate here, this is not saying those that don't know the Father's name won't be saved. So I know some people misinterpret that, and there's people in the sacred name movement that will misrepresent this verse to make people say that those that don't have the knowledge of the Son's name or have not accepted the Son's name, the true names of the Son and the Father, that they won't be saved. That's not what it's saying, because if you look at the Greek there, it's not only the proper name that it's referring to when it says his name, it's also referring to his character, the person he is. So again, I look at it as it's actually talking about both. Since that word can be used for both, just to play it safe, I would say it's both. Those that know his character and actually use his proper name. So I don't I wouldn't limit Yahuwah having mercy on someone, though. I think it's very dangerous to say that verse says that anyone that doesn't know their true names won't be saved. I think that's a dangerous game to play with that verse, in my opinion. So anyways, so Exodus 23:13, but at the same time, I don't want to devalue the importance of the Father's name and the Son's name. It is important. We are immersed in one name, So, all right, so let's see here. Exodus 23:13. Observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and you shall make no mention a name of other mighty ones, neither shall they be heard out of your mouth. So this is the problem with not knowing their true names, because we can be calling them, praying to the Father, praying to the Son, and calling him by a name of a foreign mighty one. And I'll give you an example. Adonai, according to many researchers, has been proved to be etymologically coming from the Greek deity Adonis. So to call Yahuwah Adonai or calling Yahusha Adonai is directly breaking this commandment here. So that's why it's important to know their names. That's one of the reasons it's important to know their names, to keep ourselves from dishonoring the Father by calling him a name of other mighty ones, especially in prayer and in worship, in praising him. We need to make sure we know his name so we're not praising other mighty ones by mistake. Okay, so Malachi chapter 4. Please, people, stop. Please, people, whoever are messaging me, please. I don't know who's that. I don't know what's going on here. What the heck? Okay, whatever. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I kept getting message after message after message. Okay, Malachi chapter 4, verse 2. All right, so Malachi 4, verse 2. In the Septuagint here, but to you that fear my name, shall the brilliance of righteousness arise, and making whole shall be in his wings, and you shall go forth and bound as young calves let loose from bonds. So right here we have it talking about those that fear his name, revere his name, shall be let loose and freely leap like calves set free from their bonds, from their yokes, right?
What chapter are you in, honey?
Malachi chapter 4, verse 2.
Okay.
So I would say the most important part here is it says those that fear his name. There is a baraka to those that fear his name, that don't call him the Lord or God. Okay. So we're going to continue on here. And let me see here. I did forget one here, so let me just go back up. I forgot one here that is actually mistranslated in most Bibles, most English Bibles, and that's Psalms 138, verse 2. So we're going to go there. Psalms 138, verse 2. Psalms 138, verse 2. I will worship toward your set apart temple and give thanks to your name on account of your mercy and your truth. For you have magnified your set apart name above everything. So that's the Septuagint there. You have magnified your set apart name above everything. Okay. And then even if you go to a Masoretic text Bible that kind of tries its best to reconcile the error in the Masoretic text to say that he magnified that his name is not as important as his word. The New Heart English Bible translates it as, I will bow down toward your set apart temple and give thanks to your name for your loving kindness and for your truth, for you have exalted your name and your word above everything. I actually like that. The New Heart English Bible, I probably would say, is one of the better translations of this verse. It makes perfect sense. Yahusha is the word of Yahuwah, and obviously Yahusha has been magnified above all, and so is Yahuwah's name. the actual proper name of the Father has been magnified above everything. So that's perfect reconciliation with the two different versions of that verse, with the Masoretic and the Septuagint. So I kind of like that. Here we go. So now we're going to continue on down here. We read Malachi 4:2. We already did that. All right. We got Acts chapter 2, verse 38, which pretty much, let me see here. I think this is the immersion verse, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Acts chapter 2, verse 38. Okay. All right. And let me get a better translation here. Okay. Then Kapha said unto them, and this is the real Hebrew name for Peter here, Kapha. Repent and be immersed, every one of you, in the name of Yahushua Messiah for the forgiveness of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the set-apart spirit. So again, Kapha here, he tells us that we are supposed to get immersed in the name of Yahushua for the remission of sins. Okay? And to receive the gift of the Ruach Kohadash. Okay? So that's Acts 2:38. All right. So now we're going to move on here. Matthew 1:23. Okay. And I believe this is the right verse I'm looking for here. Okay. Let's see here. Here we go. Actually, verse 21. I'm going to fix that. So here we go. Matthew 1:21. And she shall bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Yahusha, for he shall save his people from their sins. Okay. So what's the importance of calling him Yahusha? Because he is bringing salvation to his people. Okay. So in the Hebrew culture, you got to understand names mean things. Okay. When you change someone's name, you are changing their character in a way is directly correlated to their name. Okay. So when you change someone's name, you're changing the meaning of that person's character, of their personality in a way. So that's something we need to understand. Okay. Now we're going to go down to Exodus 20, verse 23 and Exodus 20, verse 7. So we'll start at verse 7 here. And this is a scripture that gets misunderstood because of really mainly Christian and Jewish, respectively, man-made traditions, how to interpret this verse. The Jews think it means that you just don't use the name of Yahuwah, and that's respecting his name. And the Christians believe that this means to not misuse his name. Okay. And we're going to show how both of those interpretations are wrong. Okay. It says, you shall not take the name of Yahuwah your Elohim in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. Now, if we look at the original word here being used for vain, okay. All right. Idol. And it's not the idol you're thinking of. It's not the IDLE, it's IDOL. Okay. So devoid of force, mean it's void. You have made his name void. See here in the Strong's here, G3152, the Greek word mataios, empty. Okay. To render it empty or useless, an idol. Okay. So basically, by replacing Yahuwah's name with the name for Baal or Lord, Adonai, Adonis, you are rendering it to vanity, to an idol, okay, empty. That's what it's actually saying in the original Greek even. Not just the Masoretic says empty, but even the Septuagint does. Okay. Let's see here. Now we're going to go to verse 23. So we're going to go back over to the shared screen here, and we're going to read verse 23 here. You shall not make to yourselves mighty ones. Okay. All right. So this is talking about something else. Let me fix that there. Sorry about that. I apologize. Okay. Let me just, it's a good verse, but it's not pertaining to this topic. All right. Okay, so let me just fix that real quick on the document. Whoops, I didn't want to do that either. Okay. Hosea chapter 2, verse 16. This is an important one here. Hosea 2:16. Okay, Hosea 2:16. All right. And it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahuwah, that she shall call me my husband and no longer call me Baalim. Or now Baalim is actually plural of Baal, which in English would be Lord. Okay. So the Hebrew word Baal in English literally is translated as Lord. Okay. So what he's actually saying is no longer will they call me the Lord. No longer will they call me Adonai. They will call me my husband. Okay. So Hosea 2:16 is a prophecy talking about how Yahuwah hates being called Lord or Master or the Lord as a name. Okay. Let's see here. We just did Exodus 3:15, so that's a typo there. We already did that, so I can get rid of that. Exodus 9:16. Okay, so like I mentioned before, this is just a part one. It's going to take a couple of sessions to get all the scriptures out for this topic, so this is mainly a part one here for tonight. So Exodus 9:16. Okay, let's see here. And for this purpose, so now Yahuwah is giving an explanation to Pharaoh here. You have been preserved, meaning for only this reason your life has been preserved, that I might display in you my strength and that my name might be published in all the earth. So very important there, showing the importance of his name there, that his name is magnified, his character is magnified. Okay, Jeremiah 23:27. The forgetting of Yahuwah's name here, according to Jeremiah, is linked with the worship of Baal. That's the reason many people don't know Yahuwah's name today. Jeremiah 23:27. So Jeremiah 23, verse 27 in the Septuagint says, who devised, and if we want, we can actually go up a verse or two. Okay. I'll start at verse 25 here. I have heard what the prophets say, what they prophesy in my name, saying falsely, I have seen a night vision. How long shall these things be in the heart of the prophets shall that prophesy lies, when they prophesy the purposes of their own heart, who devise that men may forget my law by their dreams, which they have told everyone to his neighbor, as their fathers forgot my name in the worship of Baal. Okay. So basically the practice of calling Yahuwah Adonai, calling him the Lord, and using any type of substitution for Yahuwah's name, forgetting his name in general, was directly correlated originally to the worship of Baal. That's the reason they forgot his name. Okay. Acts 4:17-18. Okay. Acts 4:17-18. All right. Let's go here. All right. Acts chapter 4, verse 17-18. But in order that it spreads no further among the people, let us warn them and not speak anymore to anyone in this name, referring to the name of Yahusha. Okay. They called Kapha and John in and commanded them not to speak at all nor teach in the name of Yahusha. And actually, this is a prophecy in a way. Seems to fit a portion of a prophecy of Yahusha's actual suffering, which was prophesied in Jeremiah 11:19 in the Septuagint. It says here, But I, and this is the Father speaking, this is showing even oneness here, the Father speaking through Jeremiah, but I, as an innocent lamb, led to the slaughter, knew not against me. They devised an evil device, saying, come and let us put wood into his bread, and let us utterly destroy him from off the land of the living. And here's the part about the name, and let his name not be remembered anymore. So what I find interesting is that it shows oneness there, even with that prophecy, meaning that they wanted not just the Son's name not to be remembered, but possibly even the Father. They were already conspiring to get his name not remembered. So now we're getting to the portion here where we're going to discuss some verses here that Christians or Jews might use to say that his name's not that important. It wasn't, there was many righteous people that knew Yahuwah that didn't know his name. His name wasn't revealed to them until Moses. We're going to show the fallacy of that idea. Not that you could be righteous and follow the Father without knowing his name. Obviously, the Father can work with you and not reveal to you his true name and still use you. I mean, that's common sense, obviously. But the point of the matter, with the fallacy we're trying to expose here with this verse, is that people knew Yahuwah's name before Exodus chapter 3. So we're going to show that. Okay. That's mainly a Jewish and Christian tradition, especially if you watch the Ten Commandments movie. They'll try to say you're God with no name. It's a man-made tradition. He always had a name. He had a name from the garden. So that we're going to show the fallacy of that. Genesis 4:26, I believe. Genesis chapter 4:26. Mind you, this is all the way in the first couple of chapters of Genesis here. Okay. Here we go. Seth. So Seth's son. And Seth had a son, and he called his name Enosh, and he trusted to call on the name of Yahuwah. I know there's other opinions that this verse has been mistranslated, and that what the Targums say. I would rather trust the Septuagint, because the Septuagint is the earliest version of the Tanakh we have, of the Old Testament we have. The Samaritan Pentateuch is worded the same way. Okay. Then men began to call on the name of Yahuwah. What's interesting is that the Septuagint doesn't even mention about mankind. It just focuses on Enosh. So I actually like the Septuagint version the best. This makes the most sense. He trusted to call on the name of Yahuwah. Okay. So calling upon Yahuwah's name, or expecting to call upon his name, directly correlates with believing in him or trusting in him, which I think is cool. Malachi 3:16, those that reverence my name. Now, if you have a Masoretic text Bible, it'll just say those that think upon my name.
Malachi 2 verse 1 also has a reference about his name.
All right, let's do that. Thank you. All right, so first we're going to go to the really strong one, is Malachi 3:16, because that goes, especially in the Septuagint, it's a lot stronger. Okay, let's see here. The Masoretic will just say those that thought upon his name. Okay, Malachi 3:16 in the Brenton's English translation of the Septuagint. Thus they spoke that feared Yahuwah, everyone to his neighbor, and Yahuwah gave heed and hearkened, and he wrote a book of remembrance before him for them that feared Yahuwah and reverenced his name. Okay, so we see a book's being written that contain names of those who reverenced Yahuwah, feared Yahuwah, and reverenced his name. So the two qualities here is those that feared him and reverenced his name. And now we can go to Malachi chapter 2, verse 1. As you can see here, there's tons of scripture showing the importance of knowing his name. It's not a vain thing to call upon his name. Let's see, here we go. Malachi 2:1. We'll start with verse 1 here. And now, O priest, this commandment, so Yahuwah is saying it's a commandment, is to you. If you will not hearken, and if you will not lay it to heart to give esteem or majesty to my name. Okay, that doesn't sound like it's okay to call him whatever. And it even continues on in the Septuagint in this verse. It says Yahuwah Almighty. So his name's not Almighty, it's Yahuwah. And then the title follows with Almighty. Okay. Then I will send forth the curse upon you, and I will bring a curse upon your baraka. Yea, I will curse it, and I will scatter your baraka, and it shall not exist among you, because you lay not this to heart. So it's actually saying, if you don't magnify my name, esteem my name, give the right majesty and esteem and magnificence to my name, you're going to get a curse instead of a baraka. So, again, this is not like listed as one of the curses of baraka in Deuteronomy, but Yahuwah is giving a commandment here. He's actually given a commandment that, by the way, is not in the first 5 books of Moses. Wow. So that means the Torah must be more than the first 5 books of Moses, I guess. So let's see here. Genesis 13:4. Okay. Genesis 13:4. All right. Let's see here. Okay. To the place of the altar which he built there at first, and Abram there called on the name of Yahuwah. And again, this is before Exodus 3. This is all the way back to Abraham. He's calling on Yahuwah's name. So Yahuwah obviously had a name. Okay. Genesis 13:4 there. So at that altar that Yahuwah commanded him to make, he called upon the name of Yahuwah. All right. Now we're going to go see here. Whoops. I wanted to go here. Genesis 12, verse 8. Okay. So Genesis 12, verse 8. Let's see here. And he departed there to the mountain eastward of Bethel, and there he pitched his tent in Bethel near the sea, and Agai toward the east. There he built an altar to Yahuwah and called on the name of Yahuwah. So again, I think we lost someone. I think we lost Sister Sally. That's okay. She'll probably be back on. She just had a signal problem. Okay, so here we see inference even before Genesis 13. This is a chapter prior, and he's calling on the name of Yahuwah. So obviously, Yahuwah's name is being called multiple times in the book of Genesis. All right, let's just see here. Got a little background noise there. All right, so let's go back to Genesis 21, verse 33. Okay. And all right. And so Genesis 21:33. And Abraham planted a field at the well. Mom, can you wait until I'm done with the recording?
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's just going to make a lot of noise in the background.
All right.
And Abraham planted a field at the well of the oath and called there on the name of Yahuwah, the everlasting Elohim. So again, there's a title here, the everlasting Elohim, but that's not a name. Okay. Genesis 32, verse 9. So we're almost done, everyone. We only got like 4 cross references left. Okay. Genesis 32, verse 9. Okay. This stupid thing would stop glitching on me. Genesis 32, verse 9. And Jacob said, Elohim of my father Abraham, Elohim of my father Isaac, O Yahuwah. So now Jacob's calling him Yahuwah. You are he that said to me, depart quickly to the land of your birth, and I will do you good, or Tob. Okay. So again, we have Jacob calling upon his name. All right. Genesis 13:4. That's a typo. We already did that one. So let's go ahead down here to the last 2 here. Genesis 28:13. Okay, 28:13. And Yahuwah stood upon it and said, I am the Elohim of my father Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac. And Yahuwah stood upon it and said, I am the Elohim of your father Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac. Fear not, the land on which you lie, to you I will give it, and to your seed. Okay, let's see here. I think it's different in the Masoretic here. Yeah, okay, yeah. In the Masoretic, he reveals himself as Yahuwah. So we can't say that Jacob didn't know his name. It says, behold, Yahuwah stood above it and said, I am Yahuwah, the Almighty of Abraham, your father, and the Almighty of Isaac. The land on which you are lying, I will give to you and your descendants. Okay. So we see even there, Jacob knew his name even there. And here's the last cross reference we have for tonight is Genesis 26:25. Isaac built an altar there and called on the name of Yahuwah. So now Isaac knows his name. There he pitched his tent and his servants dug a well. So we have multiple witnesses here that all the patriarchs would have probably knew the father's name. I mean, the only case that you can possibly somewhat make that didn't know his name, maybe you could say Enoch might have not known his name, but then, I mean, that's more of an assertion. That's not really a fact. You would have to have a preconceived bias to say any of the patriarchs didn't know his name, because there's no verse that said that they didn't know his name. And I've done a separate study about Exodus 6 verse 3 and how people misunderstand on the interpretation of Exodus chapter 6 verse 3. So this study was mainly to just kind of be a witness out to people that have not really thought about calling on the Father's name and the Son's name, and just an introduction to how important it really is. So all I would like to say is please stay tuned. We'll be doing a part 2, and if necessary, part 3 or 4, depending on how many more scriptures we find. Thank you for having an ear to hear and eyes to see, those that are, allowing, not condemning something before investigating it. Thank you for listening in and watching. To our brothers and sisters out there, have a great rest of your Sabbath. Shalom.